today's video, I'm sharing a last minute gift guide for Christmas for the sewer in your life, whether that's yourself or someone else. So let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. If we're just meeting, my name's Claire. So my tree is up. I've been buying my presents and I'm starting to panic now. Honestly, it is getting so close. How on earth did it creep up on us? Maybe it's because I'm doing Vlogmas on my other channel and the time is just getting away with me. Either way, I thought a video sharing some last minute gift ideas would be really useful to you. Maybe you've got a friend who sews, maybe a family member, or maybe you want to share this video with your loved one if they need ideas on what to get you. Try to look for some independent things. There's quite a few things from Etsy, but there's some things from other shops as well. And try to look for things that were a little bit luxury that we might not purchase for ourselves, but would be really nice and handy to own. Without further ado, let's sparkle like the tree into our first one. So for the first one, this immediately caught my eye as soon as I saw it. It is a circular seam allowance guide. On the website, it's called Seam Circles. I've seen nothing like this anywhere else. If you have, do let me know down below, but I don't recall seeing anything like this. So you've got circles that are different widths depending on how wide the seam allowance is. It comes in a tin. It's got a hole in the middle. You put your pen in the middle and draw a line. This is inspired. It's really inspired. I've seen nothing like this, and this looks like it'd be really good if you like to draft your own patterns, or you sew patterns that don't come with seam allowances. Then this is fantastic. Or maybe even you hack patterns like I do, and then you have to redraw your seam allowances. This is going to be a really great gift. Just to let you know, a lot of the gifts that I'm mentioning here today do have UK links. I know a lot of you are in America and other places as well. If they're not American links, just Google the name of them and I'm sure you'll find an equivalent in your own country. So this comes in at £18. It's on Etsy, so it does ship worldwide, but there may be additional costs if you're not in the UK. If you're in the UK, it's free delivery. I would love to receive something like this. I'm not sure how much I would personally use it. Once you've got it, it's going to come in so handy, especially if you're someone who can't eyeball distances very well. So who doesn't love a sewing pin? And I don't mean the pins that you stick in the fabric, those that are designed by other sewing people, or sometimes not, but usually other sewing people who have designed them and are selling them themselves. And I come across this one, which obviously is up on screen now. It's called a Thready Steady Sew. You know what? When I was looking for a name for my channel, I wanted to come up with something catchy, you know, like sew over it, like a catchphrase that you could turn into a sewing catchphrase. And I just couldn't come up with anything. I ended up with penguin and pear. But I like Thready Steady Sew. I wish I'd thought of that. It's a really colourful pin. Some of them are really tiny as well, but this one looks like it might be a bit bigger. In the video, she's holding it up and it does look quite big. It's got scissors, a thimble, thread, and a measuring tape on it. So I think this would be a great present for someone. If you don't want to spend a great deal of money, but you want to get them something that they'll really appreciate, this is it. £7.50 in the UK. I know America will sell these pins as well. Maybe not this specific one. Hopefully this one. But the colours really caught my eye on this one. And I keep wanting to design pins myself. I'm not a great drawer or illustrator. But it is something that I would like to do at some point in the future. So on to the next one. We've all got those scissors in our stash. Let me show you mine. These are my shears and they're very expensive shears. I actually won them in a competition from Coco Wawa Crafts actually a few years ago now. They're Ernest Wright shears. Now I do not want my husband touching these and cutting paper with them. He has learned the hard way to not touch my scissors for paper. But I came across This label, it's a leather label. You could actually make this yourself if you wanted to. You could make it out of faux leather as well, or even fabric. If you've got an embroidery machine, you could embroider fabric on it. But it's basically a little label that you attach to your scissors that says fabric on it. Whoever's going to go and grab your scissors will know that's the pair that you don't touch. Because I know, although my husband had great intentions not to touch my fabric scissors, he got confused about which were which, because I've got quite a few pairs of scissors, and so this would really help in that situation. And also, if you was going to make it yourself, you could put anything on. You could put hands off or you're in trouble. You could put my scissors. You could put anything on there. You could use your creativity if you were going to make it. But if you were going to buy it, it's sold on Etsy for £12.50. And looking on the picture, it looks like they come in different colours as well. And they ship worldwide from Glasgow. Let's face it, something like that could be a marriage saver, don't you think? I am joking, of course. Maybe. So this next one is something that I actually own and I fully recommend, and that's these. These are fine work gold scissors from Merchant and Mills. So these cost £8. I bought a pair for myself and a good friend as a gift about a year ago, and I absolutely love them. They are great. They're sharp, they're handy, they're very easy to use. What more can you say about them? They're scissors. It says perfect gold snips engraved with M. They're suitable for next to your machine for snipping thread, and they're 9 centimeters long or 3.5 inches, and the blade is 1 inch. I really recommend these for £8. That is a great gift. And if I was going to buy more gifts for sewing friends, then these would definitely be on top of my list. So for the next one, I went and had a look at Liberty because I wanted some of these gifts to be a little bit higher end, something that you wouldn't normally purchase. And I came across a Victorian box, well, I thought it was a storage box to begin with. It's called Thorpe Print Victorian Square Sewing Case. It's a very, it looks very Liberty-esque. So it's got Liberty fabric. You could look at that fabric and know that it's a Liberty print. And I thought it was just a storage box that you might put your bobbins in or something like that. But actually, when you open it up, the whole box opens up flat and it's got lots of bits and pieces in it. Yeah, so the items inside it do come with it. I think for £19.95, that is a steal from Liberty. You know it's going to be really good quality. It says it's an exclusive design, obviously, to Liberty. I just like that. Did they have those in Victorian times? Maybe they did. I've never come across something like that before. I think it's a real unique present that anyone would be really thankful for if they sew. Because honestly, you get those bits that come with it, but you don't have to keep those bits in that box. You could put anything in there. And there's lots of pockets, elastic on the inside, and things to hold whatever you want to be held in there. I think that's a really cool concept. So this next item is something that's been on the market a couple of years, maybe 2 years. And when it first came out, it was big news. Everyone was buying them. I really wanted one, but I never got round to purchasing one. And that is an acrylic necklace. Now, I think there's like about 3 or 4 designs within this collection, but the one I am highlighting is the scissors. I just think they look really cool. They've got purple handles and black and white blades, and they hang on a necklace, on a gold necklace. I just think it's really cute. Now you get some of the there's some jewelry like Tatty Divine, I think, sells jewelry that's huge and it's a real statement piece, and that is certainly a look, and I quite like that look, but also I quite like the dainty look as well, and these are more on the dainty side. Pastel lilac acrylic scissor necklace it's called. So they're £14 each, and they're 4.5 centimeters high and 2.5 centimeters wide. So that is really quite dainty. I'm personally not a huge jewellery wearer, but if someone was to purchase this for me, I would absolutely love it and wear it with pride. I honestly would. Maybe I should send this video to my husband. So the next item to share with you could be a really handy, and that's a sewing journal. And it's called the Sewing Journal. So inside it has lots of different areas. So you have a project. So you're going to make a dress. And then you can put all the details of that pattern and the fabric and everything in it. I've got a different one. I've got this maker's workbook that I bought years and years ago, like when I was very first sewing. I filled it in 2016, but I didn't really commit to it, if I'm honest. I've got all my body measurements, interestingly, almost identical to today. I just found the one that I am recommending to you just because it's the first one I found. It's got space for a fabric swatch. You can put your verdict in. It's got a little area where you can make notes for next time if you're going to make it again. I'm not someone who tends to make it again. But there is a blank, that's a blank page. But each journal is going to have very different things. If you Google sewing journals, you'll find some different ones. And just have a look on the website and see what they offer. But I just think a journal, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a journal. You can write it on a plain pad of paper as well. And you could just make notes. And that's something I have talked about in my videos previously. It's one of my top tips is actually write notes as you make your pattern, so that for the next time when you make it again, because I know myself, I will hack a pattern. You've seen me hack a pattern ridiculously sometimes. And then I go back to it 6 months later and I'm like, what did I do? Why did I grade that in there? And why did I rotate that out there? You know, your brain goes. So if you write notes down, then that is going to be really helpful. And if you're going to buy for someone, this can be a really handy item. I'm talking to you as if you're buying this for yourself, but you might be buying it for someone else, and you might not be a sewer yourself. But trust me when I say having somewhere to write down notes for your projects is going to be so helpful. The next gift idea I have for you guys is one I've recently treated myself to, and that is Ahead of the Curve by Jenny Rushmore of Kashmirette. And if you're coming to this video because you're not a sewer yourself, but you know someone who is, that you want to buy for, and they are on a larger size and they're new to sewing, then this is perfect for them. It really is. I haven't used it yet, but I have had a good flick through it. It comes with 5 patterns and they're fairly basic patterns. So it says here you've got slim leg trousers, you've got a raglan t-shirt, you've got a chic v-neck top, gathered dress and a ponte dress. So there's a nice range of items, of garments there for you to get your teeth into, to start learning to sew. And throughout the book she talks about all the different fit adjustments that you might need. As a brand new sewer, it can be really confusing and complicated knowing how to adjust patterns. Even before you get to that, it can be complicated and difficult to even recognize what the problem is in order to solve it. And she talks you through it and tells you how to work out what the problem is. And then once you've allocated that problem, you can then fix it. This is a new book, and I know over time this is going to be a plus size sewer's Bible. It really is. I'm glad I've got it. I had a read of it. The information is a little bit basic for me, but I really bought it for the patterns. If there's a particular pattern you want me to do first, do let me know down below. There's some pictures from the book, some examples of fit adjustments. It's got a little booklet there and it's got all the patterns inside. I haven't actually opened that up yet. You can buy the paperback, the version I bought, for £18 and 9p on Amazon. The next item I have for you is a seam ripper. Who doesn't need a seam ripper? If you sew or you know someone who sews, then they need a seam ripper. It doesn't matter if they've been sewing a week, a month, a year, or 10 years, or even 40 years. They will always need a seam ripper. We all tend to have these in our arsenal. little plastic ones that they do the job, but the blade will blunt really, really quickly. What better present could you have than a more luxurious one? It's one of those items that we won't go ahead and purchase for ourselves. Wow, it may be quite unlikely that we would do that when these little things that cost £1 will work, but it's something that we will be very, very grateful for. The one I found is on Etsy. It's called a large seam ripper, large Victorian style seam ripper with engraved floral handle. It's got a nice long handle. It looks like it's going to be ergonomic, although it doesn't state that. And I think it would if it was. It has a sharp blade, which you would expect, and comes with a cover that you can protect it when you're not using it. And it's handmade. £8.45 for that one, and that's on Etsy as well. All the links to everything I've mentioned today will be down below in the description box for you to click straight through and find what I'm talking about. So which of these items appealed to you? Do leave me a comment down below. And also, if you have any other ideas for gifts that are quite unusual, bit out of the ordinary, really good quality maybe, and just something that we would want as a bit of a luxury, then leave a comment down below. I wouldn't leave links because I think I've got the settings so that people can't leave links, or they can only leave one link. So do let me know down below what you thought of this, and are you going to purchase any of these, or would you like any of these? Do share this video out with anyone that would benefit from seeing it. Like, subscribe, all the things. Consider purchasing a coffee for me if you got extra value out of this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Don't forget to catch my Vlogmas over on my DIY channel. I will see you very soon. Happy sewing. Bye for now.